came to visit. We named her Abigail, and she brought her babies with her. And there's 7 little, like, turkey hatchlings. And I think we've seen them for a couple of weeks now, and they get a little bit bigger day by day. I didn't have the suet block up for one whole day, and so when I put it up, all of a sudden I got woodpeckers, which was very exciting. It's hard to tell the downy woodpecker apart from the hairy woodpecker, so I always have to study it really closely. One of them has a slightly shorter beak. I think that's the downy woodpecker. Otherwise, they're very similar in shape. But after I changed out the suet block and refilled the bird feeder, I sat on the porch, which is, pretty close to the bird feeder. And I just kind of sat there for 20 or 30 minutes, and it was scaring the birds away, especially the sparrows, because we had like dozens of sparrows that would flock to the feeder. And as they flew by and they would see me, they would sort of just do this like flyby. But the bravest birds were the woodpeckers. They didn't really care that I was so close by, and they would sit on that block of suet and eat it. And then after a while, the blue jays joined them. And on this day, there seemed to be about 3 blue jays that kind of were hanging out together. I think blue jays are notoriously very aggressive, and seem to be chasing off the smaller birds. But, I think that's just the nature of their breed, of their personality. Nothing against blue jays. So I had tons of sparrows, different kinds. Honestly, they're a little bit hard for me to identify all of them, but I didn't film as many because I just had swarms of them, especially when I went inside. But if I sat outside, as I mentioned, on the deck chair, they really did keep their distance. After a while, I would say after 10 or 15 minutes, they would cautiously go and eat from the feeder like very quickly and then like dart off. But it's really these woodpeckers that were, honestly the most courageous, and they would come and eat or even hang out. And then when they flew away, they would just go to a nearby tree. There was maybe like 3 or 4 different woodpeckers, perhaps. I mean, it's a little bit hard to tell. I think at one point I had 2 at the same time. So there's at least 2, but possibly more. And there's at least 3 blue jays, because they would come in a pack. And then as they ate, the squirrels and the chipmunks were not shy. They were not scared that I was sitting in that deck chair. And they would all kind of hang out and eat on the ground right below the bird feeder, including the mourning dove. Mourning doves to me always look a little clueless, like they're a little bit out of it and they don't quite know what's going on, and they just kind of hang out and they look a little baffled. But that could just be me anthropomorphizing them. But yeah, I was really thrilled to see the woodpecker because I haven't seen them in a while. And I think in terms of bird diversity, there was a American cardinal that I glimpsed, but I didn't get any footage of because it just was like here and there in a flash. And I might have seen a gray catbird as well. Again, a brief glimpsing, not enough to catch it. But there were just dozens and dozens of sparrows. And they can pretty much go through a block of that suet in a day and eat down the bird feeder completely, if not like 1 1/4. So I had to go buy more bird food, which I found actually the cheapest place to find that bird seed was at Stop and Shop. So that's where I'll be shopping. But anyway, it was, I think because we've had some rain, that the birds seem even more frantic to be eating.